Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Talk of the Devil. I'm your host Ben Winterton, and joining me today are three of the finest comedians around to discuss some of the news stories of the last week or so. We'll be giving you an alternative look at what's been going on in the news this week, and I'll be awarding points for our contestants being relevant, funny, and who knows, if we're really lucky, correct. Joining me today is Mr. Edmund Colley.
You don't know me.
Mr. Daniel Whitton.
Ahoy there.
And Mr. Sean Gilbody.
Hi.
And also in the studio, of course, our wonderful producer, Ms. Rachel Smith.
Hi.
Fantastic. And, of course, we've got you, the listeners. And, as usual, I'm going to be awarding a small prize to the person I deem to be the best listener. So if you're listening online, you can message us in. All you need to do is type a name into the box and whatever message you like. So I'm going to give our listeners a special topic to discuss this week. So I want you to come up with an idea of how would you transport the Olympic torch and who you'd have carry it, okay? So we've had Muse carry it. Who else have we had carry it? Anyone?
Will.i.am.
Will.i.am carried it, of course, that famous British sportsman.
Doctor Who, he's carried it.
Yeah.
Matt Smith.
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
That was David Tennant in that episode, so saying Matt Smith will not get you any points.
See, now it was actually Matt Smith.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Matt Smith carried it too.
Yeah, Matt Smith carried it. Yeah, that's the one. I carried it briefly, but I wasn't meant to, and I was soon detained.
Good. So, yeah, if anyone has any interesting ideas of who they'd like to see carry the Olympic torch, how they'd like to see it transported, please message in, and I'll award you some points if you're good. Fantastic. Okay, then. So, our first round is quotation investigation. In this round, I'm going to give our contestants a quote, and they simply have to tell me who they think said it in the last week or so. So, quotation number 1. I'm looking forward to the next time I go abroad. It should raise a few eyebrows going through customs.
Was it the Queen? Was the Queen just strapped lots of bombs to herself and going, right, let's see what happens now?
Is it the person with the world's largest eyebrow?
Eyebrow? Do you mean it's one unibrow, or one of them's normal size and one of them's massive?
It's just sort of his face is seeping under the weight of just one eyebrow.
I think that's a stroke, not the eyebrow.
I think the phrase "it should raise a few eyebrows" is actually incorrect. Then, if his own eyebrow is drooping,
well, no, because the other one would then have to sort of counterbalance it by probably acting the opposite direction. So,
could it be someone who's got a metal limb or something put in them?
It's not. No,
the Terminator.
It's not the Terminator. I'll give you it again. Oh, go on, Sean.
Sorry, is it someone has brought Botox needles onto a plane and he's going to use the Botox needles to raise eyebrows?
I don't think you can use Botox on a plane, can you? Isn't it dangerous?
Well, something about the pressure change.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next time I go abroad. It should raise a few eyebrows going through customs. Alright, I'll give you a clue. What do you need when you go abroad?
Clothes.
A destination.
Passport.
Intent.
One of those was what I'm driving at.
A passport, eh?
Passport, yes. Fantastic.
So, if someone had a face transplant or something?
It's not that dramatic. Well, you wouldn't need the passport for that to be evident, would you?
Well, yeah, but given the passport and your face looks nothing like the picture.
And surely you could just argue, I don't know that I've got a passport transplant, sorry.
Yeah, it's something else on the passport.
Well, is it the date of birth? Does he look like... Is he 12, but he looks about 34?
No, it's not. It's the name.
Alright, so is it Osama bin Laden?
It's not... He hasn't changed into Osama bin Laden.
Saddam.
It's not, like, an offensive name.
Is it George Clooney?
Santa Claus.
It's not George Clooney, no.
Anyone been close?
Not really. Alright, well... Alright, I'll tell you what. There's a man who's been having issues with cold callers, and what he needs to do is he's changed his name to something. Any ideas what you might change your name to if you're having issues with cold callers?
Stop selling me things.
He's not called Stop Selling Me Things. Anything else?
Let's see. So it's... Right, what would you want, then, if you wanted to sort of stop people from calling you?
If you want someone to stop calling you, something... It would be blank blank, surely, or something like that. So, just is it 2 blanks?
It's not 2 blanks. I'll give you it. It's homeowner sick of cold calls changes name to Tim P Price. Pestered homeowner Tim Price, who is sick of cold callers, has put them off by changing his name to a virtually unpronounceable list of consonants. Tim, who lives in New Parks, Leicester, said he has no regrets over the changes and will now refer to himself as Tim 10p Price. So, what would you change your names to if you had that? If you wanted to deter people and make people leave you alone?
Well, no, I think it's quite a cheap name though. 10p.
Ben Winterton.
There's only one name to really change your name to, and that is Rex Danger.
Rex Danger. Sean, any ideas?
Ben Winterton.
You change your name to Ben Winterton, a la my name.
Yep.
And why would...
Because everyone would leave me alone that way.
Aww.
In a nice way.
I may have to... I'm not going to knock points off you for that, Sean. I'm just going to give everyone else points. So it affects the same outcome.
I feel better for it.
Okay. Second quote. The odds are that this is yet another shakedown generated by a loser and his sleazy attorney.
Oh, this is the Pope.
And what do you think the Pope was saying that in regards to? Dan, keep it clean radio.
The constant accusations he's got of, embezzlement.
Embezzlement. It's not that. In fact, the Pope has no court cases of embezzlement.
Yet.
The odds are that this is yet another shakedown generated by a loser and his sleazy attorney.
Is it a 1940s neo-noir detective? Neo-noir?
Neo-noir.
Neo-noir.
The odds are this is yet another shakedown generated by a loser and his sleazy attorney. No, it's not.
Oh.
Is someone being sued?
It's not that. There is like a legal case involved, but you probably could have guessed that from attorney. This is a genuine celebrity. You will know who this person is. And
George Michael.
It's not George Michael.
Anti-George Michael.
Boy George.
Okay, I'll tell you what. The court case. This is a celebrity commentating on the court case of another celebrity. Now, the celebrity involved in the court case. If I told you they generate a lot of hatred.
Justin Bieber.
It's Justin Bieber.
Oh, is it? Oh,
So was it?
he beat up a journalist, didn't he?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
How could he beat up anyone? What kind of journalist is that?
He's
what
smart.
kind of man was he?
I don't know. I didn't do it. Was it his girlfriend, Selena Gomez?
It wasn't Selena Gomez.
Was it the Michael Eisner, the man in charge of Disney?
It's not Michael Eisner.
Is he still in charge of Disney?
I don't know. He used to be.
He used to be.
Wait, hon. Let's just back up a second.
Was it Walt Disney?
How come you know who Justin Bieber's girlfriend is?
I know a lot of things, Ed.
Was it equally hated singer Rebecca Black?
It's not an equally hated singer, but it is another hated person.
Mel Gibson.
It's not Mel Gibson. You kind of getting
McGarvey.
there. Think no. Think more like American news.
Is it
Bill O'Reilly.
It's Bill O'Reilly. Yes, Sean got in there first.
That's a Briskin.
Points for
Yeah,
Sean.
it's either Rush Limbaugh or Bill O'Reilly. Or Glenn Beck, obviously.
Yes.
okay.
Justin Bieber has Fox's Bill O'Reilly on his side in assault case as detectives continue to investigate allegations that singer Justin Bieber assaulted a photographer last week in Calabasas. The teen heartthrob is getting support from an unexpected place. Fox TV commentator and conservative author Bill O'Reilly wrote in his column published Saturday that he is suspicious about the allegations. While saying he didn't want to pass judgment until all the facts are in, O'Reilly added, "The odds are that this is yet another shakedown generated by a loser and his sleazy attorney who will game the system, hoping Bieber will throw some money to them to make the annoyance go away. There are now legions of lawyers who will file lawsuits against famous and rich people for just about anything." So, guys, if you were in a legal situation, who would you want to help out of a celebrity?
Daredevil. I think he's a lawyer.
Yeah,
No. There's been many rumours over the past that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and I think it's all rubbish. Since when is Daredevil blind? He couldn't fight crime if he was blind.
You ever heard the phrase blind justice?
No.
Well, neither have I.
I don't know. Bill O'Reilly doesn't sound very O'Reilly-able. It sounds.
What?
It was supposed to sound like reliable, but O'Reilly-able.
No.
Again, Sean, that's just terrible.
I'd like to help out Bill O'Reilly if there was a court case against him.
I can organise a court case against him if you like.
Not help him get free. Just help him around the house a bit.
General chores.
Yeah.
Like walk around the dog.
Yeah, look, Bill, you're stressed. I'll clean the kitchen for you, and we'll call it quits.
Good. Well, that's interesting. So,
It's not all got to be comedy.
all right, next quote. I'm always getting passers-by shouting at me, telling me I'm going the wrong way.
Ben Winterton.
It's not me.
Was it the Pope?
It wasn't the Pope.
Is it Nick Cage about his career trajectory?
It's not Nick Cage about his career trajectory.
Was it a man who runs down the wrong way, down a one-way street? I don't know why running would.
I'll tell you what, Dan, I'm going to give you it. It's backwards running champion Garrett Doherty smashed his own British record. Dublin runner Garrett Doherty has broken his own British record to dip below 7 minutes running a mile backwards. The 33-year-old smashed his own record while defending his title at the UK Backwards Running Championships, beating his nearest rival by over a minute to win in 6 minutes and 57 seconds.
Whoa.
It's not really fair, though, because he did have his legs amputated and then put on backwards again.
Whoa. Let's backtrack. Which way?
Just get out. Leave.
So, yeah, like, if you were going to hold a personal record or try and break the world record in something, what do you think you'd go for?
Backwards running.
Backwards running.
I think I
Just
can run
this guy.
much quicker than that guy.
You think you can run a mile in less than 7 minutes running
I
backwards?
regularly run backwards. It's my thing. If you see me run backwards, you go, oh, look how quick he's going.
I just thought you were getting smaller but running forwards. Or the world's fastest moonwalker. What about you, Ed?
Maybe if we're going for that sort of sidewalker, sort of in the crab formation, sort of with the pincer hands, how far you can get.
How far you can walk? Do you have to just walk sideways, or do you have to like sort of squat in the crab?
There is a technique. It's left claw,
Right.
right claw, left claw, right claw. It's a complicated system, Ben.
Well, if you'd like to challenge Ed on this system, please feel free to message in. Sean, how about you?
If I could have any record, it'd be world's richest man. Just because then I'd be the richest man in the world, and I'd have a lot more money than I do now. It's a sensible one.
But not funny.
No.
But what if you were the world's richest man by like $1? Then you wouldn't be allowed to spend any of it, because then you'd lose the record.
I'd accept that.
What if the genie who's granting you this wish, what if he interprets rich as having a good family and just gives you a really great family?
I would tell the genie to go back into his lamp, if anything. I was about to say something rude, and thank God I didn't.
Thank God indeed. And finally... Fun facts. I'm the reason artists have mixtapes in song format. As much as we would like to can't rewrite history. I'm Street King. #SK.
Sting.
It's not Sting.
Was that Fiddy?
It was 50 Cent. How the hell did you know that?
The way it was written, I gotta say, it looks like Fiddy.
Yes, that was 50 Cent. And in fact, I'm going to try and get 50 Cent quotes into at least once every show. So if you think the answer to this might be 50 Cent later on in the show, feel free to play your 50 Cent card. You spotted at the first 50 Cent arisal. There may be more coming up. Arisal. Yes.
He's a Batman villain.
Oh, right.
To quote 50 Cent, Ed, any sucker can hit spell check. So he's claiming to be the king of the streets. If you were going to be king of anything, what would you want to be king of?
I'd like to be king of England.
Well then, I suppose the Jubilee would work for you.
Yeah, that's a message to the Queen, I think.
Yeah, like, oh wait, I can take you. I'm sure it's like a Kings of Old thing, where if you kill the old monarch, you become the monarch. I'm sure it works like that.
Like, what I always think is, right, obviously there's a pretty heavily defined, like, order of inheritance to the crown. Like, how many people have to die before it goes to me? Like, because presumably it will eventually go to me.
Well,
if everyone else...
It's somewhere around 60 million. So if you can organise that many deaths, then the crown's... I think you deserve it if you can organise that many deaths.
You think... Right. What about you, Ed, if you could be king of anything?
I don't know, I think the streets are sort of too general. Maybe sort of somewhere up market. Wall Street, that would be quite nice.
You're the king of Wall Street.
But you
King
don't...
of Wall Street I am.
You don't own any of the money, you just own the street.
Yep.
Well, you don't even own it, you just preside over it.
You just go around the Cape and a sceptre, just, yep, this is my kingdom.
Taking stock of your kingdom. because it's more. Sean, so if you could be king of anything,
The Hill
you'd be king of the hill.
or Norway.
King of the hill or Norway.
Norway is very hilly
Fantastic.
in itself, so you can be king of many hills.
That's what I'm going for. You know, I'm going to branch out.
Alright, well, that's the end of our first round. Points have gone to all our contestants. Just to remind you that not only can you message in, we're also on Twitter and on Facebook. Rachel, what are our Twitter and Facebook details?
The Facebook is just called Talk of the Devil, and it is, obviously if you search that and it's a page you can like it, and our Twitter is called TOTD Comedy.
Hashtag, obviously.
Hashtag.
No, that's not a hashtag. That's
That's the name.
Our name.
Oh,
Sean, you
Failure,
technological
Twitter, Sean.
failure.
You Twitter non-man.
Okay, I asked our contestants to... Sean has literally gone under the table out of shame.
It's the shame area where when someone
Or
gets
share
shamed,
area.
it's where we're going to put them.
I never go down there. I've been shamed many a time.
It's because you're too proud.
I am, Dan.
Your inner pride just cancels out all shame.
Okay, good. So, I've asked our contestants to, in round 2, come up with a new Olympic sport for us. We've got the Olympics coming up. We think we need to spice things up a bit. So, guys, ideas for a new Olympic sport?
Well, I would like to see fire juggling.
Right. Are they juggling things that are on fire?
No,
Are they-
just fire itself.
Who can last the longest wins?
Put the hand into a fire and
grab a bunch of fire and then
a bunch.
I believe that's the collective noun for it.
Okay, and how is it judged?
It's judged by the god of fire.
No, I didn't ask who judged it. How is it judged?
Well, whoever doesn't die generally is best.
What if 2 people don't die?
Well, then they've got to fight to the death in the fire arena.
What's that got to do with juggling?
Well, clearly their skills could not be separated using juggling. So then now it's going to be done in the gladiatorial blood sport.
Right.
So imagine total wipeout, yeah, but with fire.
Instead of all the water.
Yeah.
And instead of Richard Hammond, the god of fire.
But how do you determine, like, at what point they haven't died? Like, is there a time limit or what?
Generally they get shot if they don't die.
What? So, sorry, they pick up some fire, and if they survive for an unspecified amount of time, they either get shot or have to fight to the death.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds perfectly well planned out. Sean or Ed, any ideas for a new Olympic sport?
I'd like to do bee handling. It would basically
Similar.
You know, in what's it called, the Crystal Maze, and they have that last bit where they have all like the silver foil. It's like that, but some bees are spray painted silver, and you have to catch them. There are regular ones in there, and they'll sting you as much. Yeah, but you've got to grab the silver bees.
And there's one hornet in there, and if you grab the hornet, you'll lose everything.
Yes.
So how does
King
that
your
work?
life.
Are you in for a specified amount of time?
Well, there are various crystal-based games that you can build up to this with.
Which would be the equivalent of the heats, I believe.
Will it still be presented by Richard O'Brien?
It could be, or the God of Bees. The God of Bees would also stand in.
Right, I'm going to have to question both of you on the existence of both the God of Fire and God of Bees. Of
Well,
course.
there's only one god, and he doesn't dress like that.
You can't inappropriately quote the Avengers here.
I will.
Okay, Sean, can you do any better than those attempts?
I think my sport would be, like, you know, in the old days they used to do stuff like poetry and architecture. Well, I'm going to bring queening into it. It's like a bit of classiness, and it's going to be stuff judged on waving. You can judge stuff on how good you can give a speech, how good you lead a country generally. If you can sit on a throne, you're right in there, but that's the general criteria.
And how long will queening go on for as an event?
60 years at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, but, like, you win 15 gold medals.
But, I mean, I can see an issue here because the Olympics only happens every 4 years. So what happens in the interim?
Carries over.
You practice a lot. That's like... And then for the year that the Olympics is on, you get judged on that year. The other 3 years, you're just practicing, seeing how good a queen you are.
Right, okay. Now, do you not think we might be at a slightly unfair advantage?
No.
There are plenty of countries with queens.
You say that.
Name one.
Spain.
You say
You're
that,
right,
but
Gilbody.
handball is an Olympic sport, and only the Netherlands play it, so
Yeah.
that's an unfair advantage.
Baseball was in for years, and, like, who plays that? USA, Cuba, and Japan.
Actually, Garrett Doherty, the backwards running champion, made a pledge for the Olympics to get it put in as a sport, and they've turned him down.
Good.
Rightfully
go.
so, because it's not fire juggling.
All right. Well, fair enough. I think I'm going to give the winning thing to Ed there. I think I like Ed's idea the best, and also he referenced the Crystal Maze, which always will always get you points in this studio. Not always, don't try it.
By the way, the fire juggling has Crystal Maze.
Too late, Whitton, too late.
At the end of the fire juggling, it's like 4 boyards.
Alright, so we go over to round 3. Funny because it's true. In this round, me and the writing team have come up with 2 completely made up stories and thrown it in with one real one. I'm going to give you the overview of the stories, and our 3 contestants simply have to decide which one they think is real between the lies. So, story number 1. Father's fury over children's pornographic sweet wrappers. Simon Simpkins was buying candies for his children when he noticed the pornographic illustrations of limes, lemons and cherries romping with each other. Mr. Simpkins of Pontefract, West Yorkshire, said the lemon and lime are locked in what appears to be a carnal encounter. The lime, who I am assumed to be the gentleman in this coupling, has a particularly lurid expression on his face. He said, I demanded to see the shop manager and, during a heated exchange, my wife became quite distressed and had to sit down in the car park.
Well, to be honest, just sour grapes, really.
Hey, doctor points.
My problem with the story is more that about Pontefract, because I know it's in Yorkshire, but it's a Welsh town name, and I just wonder how Yorkshire stole the town from Wales.
With a crane.
Yeah, are you asking me as a Yorkshireman how that happened?
As a Yorkshireman, how did they?
I think it was the War of the Pontefract cakes.
Oh, I don't want to hear this story again. It's like the War of the Roses times 10.
Yeah.
10 roses.
But with
If a woman ever asks you, Sean, for a dozen red roses, all you need to do is give them 1 1/5 Pontefract cakes, and you're sorted.
Well, the thing about this is, I'm sure Maulam rappers look exactly like that, and
other
even if it's not a true story, it's still true. And I'm going to go to a shop and start having furious talks with managers.
I believe we were referring to that specific one. Other sweets are available, of course, and the name was perhaps omitted from the story for that very reason. Any other thoughts, Ed? What do you think about the story?
Right, so I'm guessing then it would sort of be a cartoony image. There wouldn't be sort of a live action version of people in suits, sort of holding each other in position.
The pictures are, there's a lot of like frolicking and licking and smiling.
But if you were a giant fruit, wouldn't you?
I mean, fruits are quite like suggestive carry-on shapes already, you know.
What, carry on fruiting, carry on mower?
There's one of them had the face of Sid James.
That's a subjective opinion, Dan. I couldn't possibly say.
No, but Kenneth Williams, definitely.
So how do we feel about this one? Are we?
It's plausible.
Well, we'll see. Wait and see.
It's not impossible.
Okay, so we might be going for that one.
It's not impossible, exactly.
Okay. Second story. Drive-through absolution. Roland Croucher, a Roman Catholic pastor from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, has started offering to hold confessionals via an intercom system that's been installed on the grounds of the church. Believers with heavy hearts need only drive up to this intercom at specified hours of the day and confess. Pastor Croucher believes it not only offers a greater sense of privacy for his congregation, but it also is more convenient for people to have their sins forgiven as they commute to and from work, and claims the system has received many visitors despite the occasional hoax confessor. What do you think to that?
He'd be a great fireman, Roland Crouch.
That's good. You don't getting points for that. That's how you do puns.
Right there. I'm surprised actually at this because why hasn't this happened earlier? It seems like the idea that would really take off in America.
Well, I found the story. Although obviously I'd say that about all of them. I found the story and I couldn't get a date on it, so it might be a little older than I thought. But as far as I can tell, it's a fairly new thing.
You don't want to believe it, do you? That there's a drive-through sermon.
I don't want to believe it. I want to expect it.
So would this be sort of like for confessionals? So say if you've got something really urgent, could you sort of then get in the express lane type thing?
I got a body in the trunk. It's my fault he's there.
I presume so. I didn't see any pictures of it, so I don't know. I think there's just one lane for it.
I love that someone gets confused and goes, yeah, I'll have a Big Mac. And
do you want Christ with that?
Hey! I like the idea that the reverse happens and someone goes to McDonald's and goes, forgive me, Father, I have sinned. Fantastic. So what do we think to that?
The problem is in America, you never know.
Yeah, that's the American gambit. You'll
So
never know.
we're still a bit uncertain about both of those. Okay, well, maybe you'll be more swayed one way or the other by the final story. Go Super Pig.
Okay.
The robbery of a jewellery store in Gaston, Oregon, was inadvertently foiled by a porky intervention. The two thieves broke into a high street jeweller, succeeding in stealing over $15,000 worth of items. However, the duo's spree was slowed down when they cut through a field full of pigs, one of which they tripped over. The delay helped local police catch the pair and successfully arrest them. One officer stated that, "We were gaining ground anyway, let's not give the pig too much credit."
One thing I'll say about that is, why is he Super Pig? Because essentially he just got in the way. It's not like Superman just foils criminals by making them trip over him.
Well, what I'll say to that, Dan, is we don't know what the intentions of the pig were.
Nor do we know the intentions of Superman, really. So
That's true.
He tries to get them to trip over, but he's not that bright.
I think you're right. I think they may have somewhat oversold the headline. What do we think to that?
So, how big is the pig then? Is it sort of a genuine size, or is it quite small and sort of unnoticeable?
I haven't measured it.
We want measurements here.
I suspect it's probably your average pig size.
It was a wild boar.
How do you want the measurements here? Do you want it snout to end of tail, or do you want snout to
Do you want
rump?
height? Like,
Well,
do you want
is the tail extended, or is it just curled up?
Oh, curled up, obviously. Don't be a fool.
the pig didn't like send its extendo tail out to take them out, right? That would be super.
Prove it didn't.
Well, prove it did. Burden of proof.
Oh.
Alright, so we've got three stories. We've got Father's Fury over children's pornographic sweet wrappers, Drive-Through Absolution, and Go Super Pig. What are we thinking?
I'm leaning towards the drive-through absolution.
You're thinking Drive-Through Absolution.
Maybe because if it doesn't happen, I'm going to America and start my own.
Okay, so either Dan gets points or a new business venture. Sean and Ed, what are you thinking?
My problem with the drive-through stories, Roland Croucher sounds so made up. So I'm going to go for...
Well, you've got the choice of Roland Croucher, we don't have a story in the third one, or Simon Simpkins.
Simon Simpkins. I'm going Go Super Pig.
You're going for Go Super Pig.
Someone has to eventually.
Okay, and Ed, what are you going for?
well, I thought you were lying during the thing, so I'm going to go with the second one.
You're going to go with Drive-Through Absolution. Okay. I can tell you, it's not Go Super Pig.
Damn.
And Ed and Dan, you're also wrong! It's Father's Fury over children's pornographic sweet wrappers. Win! We actually got it! Fooled you for once!
Simon Simpkins sounded so fake as well.
I know, it's so good, isn't it? Like, who... wouldn't it be... doesn't this sentence just sound like I made it up? I demanded to see the shop manager, and during a heated exchange, my wife became quite distressed and had to sit down in the car
Doesn't just
park.
sound made up, it sounds like something that you'd make up as well.
I know.
Sorry, sit down in the car park.
Yep, that's from the genuine story from the Daily Mail. Says it all. So no points to there, although I get 1,000,000 points.
Nul point.
I won't. I do a tally, so doing 1,000,000 will take me a while, which
Also,
I might do.
it's not a true tally because you haven't crossed your fives.
I was getting to it, Dan.
No,
So
no.
I'll be crossing my fives and adding myself on 1,000,000 points. I want my contestants to come up with a new way to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee, okay? We've called this round Jubilee Japes. How should we celebrate the Queen's new Jubilee, or Newbilee, if you will?
Well, do you remember a while back there was that thing where Brian May got up on top of Buckingham Palace and then started playing...
That was the Golden Jubilee.
That was Fathers for Justice thing, wasn't it?
You've got to get a point for such an obscure reference, Sean. Fathers for Justice. Sorry, Ed, you were saying.
Right, so what would happen is I would get the Queen to go on top of Brian May's house and start playing Bohemian Rhapsody.
I like it. I like that a
Shouldn't
lot.
the Queen be playing one of her songs?
No, because Brian May played one of her songs.
Yes, she played.
Well, that's Queen.
Yes.
Surely the Queen should just be playing God's... Oh, no, she played God's of the Queen, didn't he?
Any
Yeah.
of Brian
Oh,
May's
yeah.
singles.
Fair enough.
She could play Green Sleeves.
I thought he was playing Killer Queen and I got confused.
No.
Maybe she should play Killer Queen and really threaten Brian there.
Okay, Dan or Sean, any ideas?
I think to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee, she should go back for old times so they can colonise a country.
Name one.
I'm going to regret asking this, Dan, but what country do you think?
I'm gonna put
Angola's as good as any. And also, though, she's also going to be doing this dressed as the X-Men character Jubilee.
And what's Jubilee wear, Dan?
She wears a yellow trench coat, a pink top, and jean shorts things and boots, I believe. And then
She's
sunglasses.
got a hand. Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
I
And
will get a picture for anybody who is unaware of this.
yes, you can find pictures of.
Well, she's a vampire. No, I will not talk about
Let's not
current
talk
comics.
about vampires. And finally, Sean.
I would set the clocks back an hour so we actually have an extra day to celebrate the Queen. And also, an hour is 60 minutes. A minute for every year the Queen has been Queen. Yay, Queen.
So you break Greenwich Mean Time.
I would break time and space for the Queen. That's how
You
loyal.
break space.
I'd
How
break
are you plan to do
space.
that?
It's
The
very
only way he knows
complicated,
how.
but dynamite.
I imagine the
break
Queen.
something.
I imagine the Queen's got a TARDIS, so she could do it for you.
And I would find that really unrealistic because she has grown old during this time.
Well, yeah, but she has to keep up appearances, doesn't she?
Yeah, it would explain like why she's so absent for most of the year, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I think I'm going to give that to. What did we have? We had
Brian May.
playing the song in Brian May's house. We had
Colonising another
colonising another country and breaking time and space. Just for practicalities, I'm going to have to give it to Ed, I think. So very well done, Ed. Okay, we now move on to our final round, headline deadlines. And this round is going to be a quick fire round, so fingers on your temples so you can channel. That's not your temple shot, it's your forehead.
You don't want to know where my temple is.
So if you can just sort of channel and get into the zone. So quick fire. Basically, I'm going to give our contestants a headline. They simply have to fill in the blank. So, arrested suspect stole what?
Heart.
That's quite sweet. No, it's not hard.
Hilary Duff's bracelet.
Is that a reference to something?
Nope.
Well, I think just for validity's sake, arrested suspect stole something. They stole something
Stole
and now
nothing.
they're arrested.
Stole his own freedom.
He didn't steal his
He's-
own freedom.
Arrested suspect steals the thing that he has to hold up in those police shots, mug shots.
He kind of in the right ballpark, Dan.
He steals something from the police station.
Kind of.
He
Policeman's
steals
house?
police car.
Policeman's gun and leads
Police
to
dog.
mass massacre.
Not very true. Comedy show, Sean.
Badge.
Not badge.
Hat.
Hats.
He's an arrested suspect, remember.
Jail.
Handcuffs.
Handcuffs, it's handcuffs. Yes, arrested suspect stole handcuffs. Police in Washington state said a man released from custody was arrested again when he allegedly stole the jail's handcuffs and tried to pawn them. Investigators said the 43-year-old Aberdeen man, whose name was not released, was arrested on an outstanding theft and trespassing complaint Tuesday and taken to the city jail where he was processed and later released.
I like the word. I like processing. It implies that he becomes a Cyberman.
He was indoctrinated.
I like the fact that we could use the same words of handcuff and pawn in a sentence on radio, but, you know.
But of course, it's porn spelled P-A-W-N.
I know. What else would it be,
Those
Dan?
cunning linguists out there.
Very, very immature. So, next round.
Yeah, Dan.
What stuck on cactus for days?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's not Jamie Lee Curtis.
Is
no.
it cactus?
It's not cactus.
What about cactus disguise?
What was,
Sombrero.
what was
It's
the
just like a big metaphor for Mexico. It's been stuck there for years.
what was the Digimon that was a cactus?
Cacti? Oh no,
Cactus
the other
mon.
thing- It could be the Final Fantasy character, Needles.
It's not those incredibly geeky references.
Was it green?
Acupuncturist.
It's not acupuncturist, no.
Is it just a hand?
Stuck on
He reached for his arm, grabbed his cactus, and now it's stuck.
It's something living.
Dog.
It's not a dog.
Cat.
It's a cat.
Oh
Yes.
good, I was going to name every animal.
Cat stuck on cactus for days. The feline was spotted on a saguaro cactus by a hiker in a desert located in Mesa, about 20 miles away from Phoenix. Isn't Mesa the town Jar Jar Binks was from?
No, that was...
That's just what he said.
Yeah.
Instead of I am, he said Misa.
The cat stayed on top of the cactus, reported to be at least 20 feet high for at least 3 days. After attracting a lot of attention, notably from an overhead television helicopter, the cat simply climbed down and headed home.
All right. No.
Roswell
It's a story. It's a story.
I want to see a sequel now.
Next, and this one's good because it rhymes. Yogurt pot, hedgehogs what?
No. God.
Yogurt pot.
The actual thing doesn't rhyme, it rhymes with the word, put the word
Oh,
what.
right.
Yogurt pot, hedgehogs what?
Hedgehogs.
Hedgehog's delight.
Not.
It's not delight or not.
Arch enemy.
It does not headline.
No.
It could have been some form of war declared between the two groups, yogurt pots and hedgehogs.
It's not-
Hedgehog's enemy is also Dr. Eggman.
Yogurt Pot Hedgehog's enemy is also Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
No.
They're unrelated. You actually just read the headline wrong. There were two separate
What happens
stories.
if the hedgehogs are lactose intolerant? That's why the yogurt pots are the enemy.
Is it Yogurt Pot Hedgehogs Assemble?
It's an S in the possessive, so it's
Hedgehog's home.
It's not home.
House.
Hedgehog.
Not a
Subtle
house.
getaway. Holiday home.
Hedgehog Slots.
It's a
Hedgehog's
bit
bed.
more actiony than that.
Hedgehog's car.
Shield.
Vehicle.
I'm not joining in.
Okay, you can sometimes give a noun to like an action, can't you? So like drive, for instance.
Hedgehog's drive.
It's not.
Hedgehog's
Shot.
No,
Oh.
Hedgehog's dance.
I don't think you're going to get it.
Spot.
It's Yogurt Pot Hedgehog Cellar Rampage.
Oh, of course.
This prickly customer gave police a run for their money after terrifying a family when it got trapped in their cellar. The squeals from the hedgehog, with its head trapped in a yogurt carton, were so loud that the Niebaum family called cops in Emstetten, Germany, fearing that someone had broken into their basement. I assume Niebaum is also in Germany. And they just called some German policemen in town.
Oh, at least that's our Hedgehog Germany story out the way.
Yes, he was making a lot of noise that was being amplified by the carton. It's an easy mistake to make, laughed one officer.
I imagine they were quite disturbed because they definitely weren't the screams from the person he had chained up next to them.
No, they didn't want that.
I'm glad they called the police, otherwise they'd be hedging their bets.
Right, stop it. I can see why the other hosts got annoyed with this. Alright, next. Dutch prince ashamed over what?
Jubilee.
Queen Fair.
It's not Jubilee or Queen Affair.
Ashamed over orange. He doesn't like the colour orange. He's sick of Holland being associated with it.
It's not orange, no.
Shamed over.
Ashamed over sex scandal.
It's nothing like that. Something a bit more lowbrow.
Ashamed over his car. It's a bit rubbish. An Astra.
It's not car.
Shamed over.
Shamed over his car, wouldn't that also be a sex scandal?
I'll give you a clue. It was a big sort of public event that he was involved in.
Birthday party.
It's not an orgy or a birthday party.
Shamed over opening of a new supermarket.
Not quite.
He opened something?
He didn't open something, no.
Poor quality of own Dutch action figure goods.
It's not that either. It's a contest of sorts.
Ashamed over.
Pie eating contest.
Netherlands Got Talents.
I think Dan's the closest there, but not very
Eating
close.
contest.
Hot dog.
It's not an eating contest.
Something to do with food cooking contest.
No,
Drinking.
Okay, is it some form of sport contest?
kind of. It's sort of like tossing the caper, but weirder.
Speed smoking.
It's not speed smoking.
Roller disco.
Log rolling.
Cheese rolling.
Well, I'm going to give you it, Ed. It's Dutch Prince ashamed over toilet throwing contest.
How was that?
I don't see how you can be shamed by that unless you did terribly.
Crown Prince Willem Alexander, it might be Willem, has spoken at his shame of taking part in the traditional Dutch toilet throwing contest. The heir to the Dutch throne was in the small eastern village of Rennen on Queen's Day, April 30th, where he entered and won the traditional village game of toilet bowl tossing.
So he wouldn't be ashamed if he just came second, but because he won, I can't win this. I'm the prince. I've already got enough.
Well, his reasoning goes as follows. Speaking at a function in Rotterdam on Wednesday, the prince admitted he felt ashamed when hurling the orange-coloured ceramic potty, given the lack of proper sanitary conditions in the developing world. So
They should have thrown it towards the developing world. If he won, he's a really good thrower.
By the way, the picture of him throwing it is brilliant. Rachel's going to put it on the Twitter, I think, but he just looks great. It doesn't.
He looks
he doesn't look like a
determined.
prince, put it that way.
He looks like Boris Johnson.
He does.
I was thinking a young
Charles.
young Donald Trump.
I thought he looked a bit like Charles Kennedy. But,
yeah.
Anyway, but that's by
Maybe
the
it
by.
is Charles
If you
Kennedy.
think he looks like someone, please message in.
Maybe it is Charles Kennedy. He's just gotten so drunk this time that he thinks he is a prince of Netherlands.
Oh, jokes about Charles
Of
Kennedy's
course,
drinking
we're not
problems.
making any jokes about
It's 2006 again.
All right, I'm going to give you a bit of leeway with this one. This is the final one. What steals what from what?
Monkey steals rabbit from a tree.
It's not... What? No,
Mel,
Tree steals rabbit from a monkey.
it's not that either.
Mel Gibson steals bracelet from Hayley Duff.
What is you saying? Hillary Duff, or Hayley Duff, as you said there.
I changed it this time for Hayley.
It's not Mel Gibson steals bracelet from Hillary Duff.
Is it Roy Hodgson steals England job from Harry Redknapp?
That might be a. No, it's not, and I'm not going to give you points for a football joke because I don't get it.
How about
I'm gonna
thief
smuggle one in.
steals object from owner?
But that's technically correct, so I'll give you a point for that. But can you be more
Raccoon
specific?
steals toilet brush from Toilet Brush Man.
It's not that.
It's quite an old story, and Pippa steals Spotlight from Kate.
It's not that.
Is it really old story?
No.
I can't think of an old.
What? Harold
Really?
steals England from
No, William.
William.
steals England from Harold.
No, that was a history joke about the Norman conquest.
1066. Battle
I don't know why I'm doing my whisper voice. Okay, any other ideas? I'll give you a clue. One's a group of people, one's name for a criminal, and one's an animal.
German steal murderer from Hedgehog.
No. We had loads of hedgehog stories as well. I was going to do like a whole round of just hedgehog stories, but I decided not to in the end.
Is the group of people a nationality?
No.
So could it be the Women's Institute steal jam thieves from prison?
Steal jam thieves.
None of those are animals.
Al Qaeda saves
No,
llama.
I'm just going to say no right from the off.
Parliament steals Parliament from.
Parliament steals
Okay,
welfare
the first
from
one
ducks.
The first one, the last word is children, so it's what steals what from children.
Queen steals Parliament from children.
It's not Queen steals Parliament from children.
That's how she sees politicians. Is it Prince Charles steals candy from children?
Of course, we're not suggesting Prince Charles actually does that on this fine Jubilee day, but no, it's not that. Do you want another word?
Yes.
Bandit steals what from children?
Tangerine.
It's not tangerine.
Bandit steals happiness from children.
In a way.
It turns up from their birth.
Candy.
Remember,
birthday
you
cake?
haven't had the animal yet.
Bandit steals Camilla from
Tortoise,
children.
Hare.
It's
Dog.
not-
Cats.
Birthday cake.
Pinata.
It's not pinata.
Mother.
I don't think you're going to get it. It's Bandit steals chickens from children. The thief pulled off his foul heist before the rooster had a chance to crow. An Albuquerque man is facing charges after police said he stole chickens from Montessori school children. That's all I've got on that.
Those puns were clucking terrible.
Yeah, they were. I
Back
thought
under
they
the
were.
table.
I thought they were excellent.
Back,
And they
you get
were
under the
a
table
good
too.
example of. And they made me ecstatic. Right, so.
I think where's the chicken pun and the egg
Exaggerating
pun?
this.
Okay, so that's the end of our final round. So I'm now going to give our contestants a last-ditch attempt to try and get some points. I'd like to point out that there's only 3 points between last place and first place, so there's everything to play for. So let's go to Sean first. Sean, what's your attempt to garner some points from me?
You asked for a rap, so here you go.
Oh, you want me to deliver it?
No, I just wrapped something in a piece of paper, so technically it's a rap. I have too much dignity to rap on the public service radio, so I wrapped the Bale Rig FM Bible for you.
Well,
Dignity is not a problem for me.
I can tell you, Sean, that was a... I can't say that word. That was a terrible pun.
There wasn't a pun, it was semantics, if anything.
No. It was playing on a homonym. That's a pun. All right. So, Dan, what have you got for us?
Well, I've got a rap about the Queen.
I'd love to hear it.
In West London, born and raised, in the palace is where she spent most of her days, chilling out, relaxing and reading all cool, looking over the kingdom, looking down at the fools. When a couple of princes, looking up to no good, tried to kill her in the middle of the night. But she shot them both and then got taken to the tower, and that's how she became the Queen.
You went a bit Richard III in the middle there.
I didn't say it was by Queen Elizabeth II.
So go home,
But
Chabella.
the Queen.
All right, I like that. That's
How I
very good.
interpreted the film The Queen with Helen Mirren.
All right,
You got that movie so wrong.
all right. Ed, what have you got for us?
Talk of the Devil. It makes no sense. Ben didn't do a 50-cent reference. This is what we do on the Jubilee. We even got the Queen to say she agreed to sing us out in 1, 2, 3. Camilla must never be Queen!
That was possibly the whitest thing I've ever heard.
Sean wants just heard some snow.
White noise would be more
I
street than that.
once saw Walt Disney like cryogenically get frozen, And you have now beaten that to the whitest thing I've seen.
I thought I was going to like sort of Shatner it and sort of just smoke intermittently.
Well, I have to give bonus points to Ed for doing the only original rap there. Rachel,
Most
I'm
original, I wrote it
gonna
before Will Smith.
Rachel, I'm going to let you decide who you think the winner was there. Remember, we've had a Will Smith impersonation,
Yep.
we've had a physical rap, and we've had Ed's whitest rap
Whitest rap you know.
reference.
I'm going to say Ed because he did actually come up with
All
the
right,
original.
that's some extra points for Ed.
I'm not happy.
Dan just sang.
I'm not happy.
I think singing Fresh
first
Prince
time I've-
deserves points.
Well,
You can have a point for it, but he's not going to win.
I can tell
I've never
you
won this
currently
before.
we're at a draw, so the results go as follows. Sean is unfortunately in last place with 21 points. Now, Sean, that means that Ed and Dan are currently drawing at 24 points. If you want, you could gift a point to one of them to decide the winner.
No.
Fair enough. So,
I'd like to point out I've never won Talk of the Devil in my 2 years. I've never won. Talk.
Really?
Yes.
I'll give a point to Dan.
Ed, I'll give a point to you.
That still makes Sean.
so
Yeah.
now Sean's okay, fine. So that puts
Right, that means that
You've got a point
that
left.
means that Ed's won.
No, because if you give a point to Dan and Dan gives a point to me,
Then he loses a point, and
Yeah, but he-
that means he gets
gains-
nothing out of it.
No,
and
you go down to 20. He goes to 23. Sorry, 25.
And you
now
win.
24.
and you win.
And I get to 20.
so the winner this week is Mr. Edmund Colley.
Yes, it does. I give you the extra point that Sean gave me.
And anyway, obviously the real winner this week is me because I actually managed to dupe everyone with our stories. So I'd like to thank everyone who's been listening, all the many hundreds of you, and thanks to everyone who messaged in.
same
No
hundreds
one.
who
I think
messaged
there's
in
actually, to be fair, I think there's a technical problem in the system at the moment. We'll look into that. So I'd like to thank all our listeners. I'd like to thank our wonderful producer, Miss Rachel Smith.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank our wonderful writing team, which was myself and Mr. Jack Marshall.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank our wonderful contestants, Mr. Sean Gilbody, Mr. Dan Whitton, and Mr. Edmund Colley.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank the Lancaster University Comedy Institute who produced this show. I've been your host, Ben Winterton. We've been Talk of the Devil. We're back next Sunday. Cheers.